Steve here, and thanks for dropping by to have a look at Soccer45. Just as the name suggests, the 45 stands for the 45 minutes of football, and it's the first 45 minutes of football that we're looking at today. There are three strategies, and after 5 years of research going back through lots of leagues and different seasons and that, the stats stack up for the last 5 years for the leagues that we're about to show you, working on the halftime strategy. With football, it can be awfully frustrating having all the games played in a certain part of the year. So with our research in that for Soccer45, we've looked at areas where we can get as close to a 12-month involvement as we can. And so the leagues that we've got in here, in method 1, we're looking at the top Swedish league, obviously the English Premier League, the German Bundesliga, English Championship, the J-League, which is the Japanese league, and the Premier Liga, which is obviously Portugal. Now, the J-League and the Swedish league up here, they play out of sync. They do cross over a little bit, but they play when the major leagues aren't playing. Certainly the Swedish league and the Japanese league are playing. So you get a more continuity of involvement in the sport of football. We can see here in method 1 over 5 years, just using say £1 stakes, betting £1 stakes, there's a 1,300 return, or £1,300 return for playing these 6 leagues over 5 years. And we can see there, this is the combination of the 5 years. We go from the Swedish league there at the beginning to the English Premier, the German Bundesliga, Championship League, J-League, and the Portuguese league there. Okay, so this is method 1. There's 3 methods in the book to follow. Essentially, the selections in that are very, very similar. It's the way that you play the games that makes the difference in the returns that you're seeing now. If we just scroll down now, let's have a look at this is method 1 that we've just seen up there. These are the matches and the loss and the wins for those 6 leagues over the 5 years. And you can see there, basically we're running pretty close to a 48% strike rate in the match. Now you can gather that looking at the strike rates in that here, there's obviously different bets that we're having in the game. It's not one bet per game. So there's different ways that we play the game, but the most important thing you can see here in the strike rate is in method 1 we're hitting very close to 50%. So this means once you read the methods and you start seeing the results, and all the results for the purchases of this method are available in an Excel spreadsheet, so you can have a look and see the runs, and you can look at if you want to do some progressive betting, and that was certainly going to increase your returns. And with a strike rate of 48, the opportunities to do progressive betting are quite huge. Here we are with method 2, and once again you can see there we've got 5 leagues there. We don't have the English Championship League in method 2, but we still have 2 leagues playing out of season in the off season of European, the Swedish there and the Japanese, and then Premier Division in England, Bundesliga in Germany, and Portugal there. So you can see method 2 over the 5 years has returned close to £1,200 if we were betting £1 per bet. So not a bad return there. You can certainly see the German league there is going very well indeed in both method 1 and method 2. If we just scroll down a bit, we can see the strike rates here. And the strike rates here are even better than in method 1. We can see here 60% overall on using method 2 in the Soccer45. The third and final method here, method 3, we can see there it returned over the 5 years using the 5 leagues, same as method 2, just over £1,000 on £1 bets. once again, still the standout league is the German league, but of course playing these other leagues gives you obviously interest and gives you an income all year round, including the Japanese league, which has done a lot better in this series than in the other methods, and of course the Swedish league there. If we look down at the strike rate, there's something that you'll notice quite obviously here is the strike rate here is only at 23%. This is because of the strategy. Obviously in method 3 we're using less money, and by using less money the strike rate is obviously being affected. But if we have a look at it, the returns are not a big difference than in method 1 and 2. What you'll do is when you get the ebook, if you decide to purchase it, you can see the selection method, as I said, is the same for all methods. How you play these methods is the main concern, and that's what gives us the different strike rates and different returns. Okay, let's just go a little bit further into a couple of the main leagues, the English Premier League and also the German Bundesliga, and we'll just look at a few facts and figures for you. So first of all, we're going to be looking at the Barclay Premier Division. For those of you that have played football and bet on football before, you'll know that it's not as easy as you would think it would be. And if we look here in the Barclay Division, Premier Division Method 1, for the last 5 years, it's returned just on 300 points profit. Now, if we have a look here, we can see there it's had a couple of years. Season 2009 to 10 was a losing year for us, and 2012 to 13 nearly 50 points lost there. The main thing is when you're doing these seasons, these betting is to look at the bottom line, and the bottom line is there was 1,000 games in the last 5 years that qualified to bet on. 500 of those games won, so we had a 50% strike rate in the Barclay Division. And our return on investment, so for every pound that we invested in bets in the Barclay Division for the last 5 years, returned a 7.4% profit. Now that's for every pound we made 7p for profit. Now the thing to remember is this is all done on Betfair, so you don't have to worry about bookies banning or anything. This is all inclusive of a 5% commission that you would have had to pay on your wins. So that is for very little work, like five minutes a day sort of thing. That's your return that you're looking at doing, and this is not being progressed. This, as I said, this is starting with say like a £300 bank or $300 bank, and just betting £1 per bet. If you were to look at say at the end of each month, going and using a percentage of the bank, and as the bank increased each month using a bit more, then this figure here would grow quite a lot. So we're taking it to the very conservative review when we're saying 7.4% on method 1 on the English division. Now if we look at method 2 with the Barclay Premiership, we can see there just a fraction under what we made in the last one. We had a 61% strike rate, and return on investment was 5.9%. So we can see there a couple of very well negative lines there, but we lost the 50-point loss in what we say method 1. We've only lost like 9 points in that season using method 2. So depending on what sort of punter you are in that, some method, one method will apply better than another method for you. Let's move on to the German league. Now we're just comparing the German league, which method 1, which you just saw, I did it with the Barclay league. This here is not quite 200 points better using this method, and we used less games, only 857 games, 49% strike rate. The important thing using method 1 in the German league is the 14% return on our money. Okay, so double what we made in the English league we did in the Bundesliga, and you can see there no losing seasons at all. Okay, and if we just move on to season 2, method 2, we can see that the investment return on investment drops a little bit to 11.46%, 7%. Still a very good return on the investment there over the 857 games over the 5 years. Okay, so that's a quick overview on the two major leagues and the two major methods that are covered in Soccer45. As I said, it only involves you to half time, so that means that obviously you can play more games, because as one game comes to half time, that frees up your money and enables you to move on to the next game. Okay, so thanks for viewing this video on Soccer45, and we hope that you'll find it a great investment for your portfolio, and especially with football being a hard game to make money on. Soccer45 certainly shows you how it can be done. On behalf of Michael, the research compiler and the creator of this Soccer45, this is Steve signing off, wishing you all the best. Thank you.